Good morning. So those of you who have been affected by Watchtower, you'll know that it's an extremely stressful and worrying time. You will have lost a lot of sleep. If, like me, you walked into a room facing 7 elders that you didn't know were going to be there, then that's the sort of situation that we need help with. There are other situations in life, and it's good sometimes to remember that there are a lot of things that we can't see. And to illustrate, I'd like to go back to some old histories. That's to the prophet Elisha. Now, the king of Assyria sent a lot of raiding parties into Israel. And his strategy was to set up ambushes. So he said to his army, look, you camp out here and we'll catch the king of Israel as he comes down the road. Well, he does this several times, but the king of Israel doesn't turn up. And this is odd because the king was known to take these routes. So he calls his army together and he says, right, now then, which one of you is a spy? Which one of you is for Israel? And they say, oh, no, it's not us. It's Elisha the prophet. He tells the king of Israel everything that you say, even in your bedchamber. So the king says, right, the thing to do then is to go and get Elisha. Now, he must have known that this was not going to be easy because he sent a vast military force. And they found Elisha, well, he was supposed to be at Dothan. So they go to Dothan. Now, I've been to Dothan, but it was a long time ago, and I can't really remember, but it seemed to be in quite a wide plain with mountains around it, but in the distance. Whether I'm right or not, I might not be, but that's the impression I got. So there are a lot of mountains. So Elisha was in the fortunate position of having a servant. This was in the days before washing machines. So the servant gets up early in the morning and thinks, a nice morning. And he goes to have a look outside when he gets the shock of his life because the city is surrounded by this army. So he runs to Elisha and says, what are we going to do? So Elisha prays to Jehovah and says, please, will you open his eyes? And of course, what did he say? The mountains were covered in Jehovah's angels and fiery chariots. And then Elisha says to him, there are more on our side than on theirs. We forget that because everything that we do is earth-centered. We forget there's a vast universe out there full of far more living beings than we have on this little planet. Jehovah can summon up any amount of angels to help us out. So what was the end of the story then? Well, the Syrians were surrounding the city, so Elisha goes out to meet them for some reason, and he says, good morning, can I help you? And the captain says, well, we're looking for Elisha. So Elisha prays again for them to have a bit of mental blindness. We all suffer from that now and again. And Elisha says to him, look, Elisha's not here. I'll take you to where he is. And he leads this army to Samaria. Now, I've got a map here. I don't know if it's terribly clear. Is that clear or not? Anyway, where's Assyria? It's here, Samaria. Here's Dothan. Here's Dothan, and here's Samaria. It's not very far away. It's only 10 miles, but it's over mountainous country. So it would have taken them a good morning to get there. So when they get there, Elisha prays for this army's eyes to be opened. And they suddenly realize that they are in Samaria and they've been caught. Now the king of Israel says to Elisha, well, do I kill them? And Elisha says, no, you can't do that. These are captives of war. He said, give them bread and water and send them home. So the king thinks, I can do better than that. So he gets out the roast lamb and the roast beef and the jellies and trifle and cake. And if you don't believe me, you can read it for yourself. It's in the second book of Kings, chapter 6. I might have embellished it a little bit, but it's good for us to remember that Jehovah has so many angels at his disposal. He does see what goes on and he will deal with things. His time is different to ours. So at times it seems that he's taking his time to do something, but we see it in the end. As it says in the book of Isaiah, and this is Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 15. He says, see, the nations are like a drop on the pail's rim. They count as a grain of dust on the scales. We forget that because we are earth-centered, but try to broaden our minds to this vast universe and remember there's a lot of help and strength out there for any situation, and we just need the faith to take a hold of it. But thank you for watching this morning.